This blush is blushing. You guys, people are capable of anything. This topic was on my mind last night when I was writing in my journal. And I don't know, you guys, I'm a writer. Like, first, I'm a reader at heart. Like, I love books. I love books ever since I was a little girl. I've been reading books. I read my first big old 600-page chapter book when I was in the first grade. Like, I love books. But I was writing yesterday, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta put this out there because, man, I felt it, man. So people are capable of anything. This is what I wrote right here. It says, underestimating what people can do to you, whether that is negative or positive. The people you call your loved ones one day can be your enemy the next day. Their undercover hatred that they always had for me leaches out, and the dumb shall believe. Let me say that again. Their undercover hatred that they always had for me reaches out, and the dumb shall believe. Whoo! Man, that should be a quote. The dumb shall believe. Meaning, let's say I fall out with somebody that obviously wasn't my friend in the first place, and it just now, like, realized, like, it just hit me. This commotion, this conflict has sparked, and they're finally exposing their true selves, and I distance myself from them. I suddenly turn silent, and they don't hear from me again. So then they run to other people, and they spread these false narratives about me, or they just make up lies against me. That little demon in them, they just start going crazy and, like, reactivating itself, like spazzing out. Anger, hatred, all these emotions are suddenly towards me. They was built up in their soul, and now they're finally putting it out onto the universe. And the people that they tell are dumb. Whoever they tell it to, the dumb, the naive, the transparent will always believe. Will always believe. And it's so sad of how easy it is for people to turn on you. Yeah, you guys. And that right there, especially like friendship betrayal, I feel like is the worst. It's the worst. I dealt with so many, and I still push through it, and I don't need anybody but myself. I don't even talk to anybody. I don't even entertain those mutual friends anymore that are with them. I don't do any of that. I just always had myself. Always had myself. I never ran to anybody about my business anymore unless up there to God. And that really changed, that whole situation really changed my perspective on everything. This innocence and this, me being so naive back then, like me being so pure-hearted and giving out my genuine to the wrong, to the evil, so freely, and for them to really switch that energy on me and turn it so negative and attack me and drain me, leeching my blood, my energy out of my system, and try to get me killed is crazy. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I also said, let me continue to read what I put. I said, if you allow them to enter, you're allowing them to physically and spiritually ruin. Meaning, I let them come into my life. I'm like, yeah, come on, like, you need help, like, whatever. Just me being nice, me being kind, me not being aware of my surroundings led me to almost becoming one of them. To me being brainwashed, from me being hurt. And it's so crazy. It's so crazy. So like I said, if you allow them to enter, you're allowing them to physically and spiritually ruin. The power of your tongue can recruit monitoring spirits, the other side, the miserable, to do their job, do what they're supposed to do. And what is that, you may ask? What is that? They're trying to destroy you. Make you become one of them. And even kill you. Stop seeking good in everyone, because not everybody's intentions are as pure as yours. They will try to break me down just to recreate me, to copy me, to take whatever I was working on and turn it into theirs, rename it into theirs. They will switch up on me just to take whatever I gave to them from me and make it their own. Humanity is scary, especially when you become that other side. It's like, you know how, everybody, we experience everybody's chapters at different times. Like, for instance, like I put on when I was writing, I said, your hero, your heart, somebody you trust, can be another's or somebody's villain, ex, or deadbeat. People are capable of anything. It only takes a matter of time until they expose underneath that mask. So when I say that, like, the person you may seek as your hero, your heart, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, can be somebody's ex, villain, crash out, like, man. It's so crazy how you can experience different people. You can experience people in different times, in their lives, different lifetimes, and it's just like, wow. It's like when, let's say you're dating this one person, right? And you find out this person is doing you dirty, so you break up with them, you leave them, and they hurted you. You're hurt, you're drained, you're hurt, you're betrayed, right? And you're healing, and while you're healing, let's say one day you being nosy, and a couple months later or a couple years later, you stalk their page, and you see exactly how you was asking to be treated, given to somebody else. They were so easily to do that for somebody else. So now the person that they're dating, they're around with the healed, the better, the happy, all the work you put into that person, they just got up and gave it to somebody else. And now the person that your ex is dating is filled with joy, is happy. They think that they found their soulmate. And maybe they did. It's all like just with time and their mental, man. That is so crazy. So crazy. And it's so sad of how you could build somebody up just for them to switch up on you and look for better. Like, but at least you know that you did something right. At least you know you did something right. You cannot be jealous or envious of the person that they're dating. You can't have jealous or hatred in your heart at all. During that whole healing journey, you gotta take it as it is. You gotta break down that whole situation. What you missed, the red flags, like where you messed up at, when you should have left, what you shouldn't have done. And you take that blame You put that on yourself and you move on. Oh, they cheated on me. Oh, this, oh, that. How many times they cheated on you and you stayed? And you just wasted all this time onto yourself. Like, it really be in our faces, but we're so emotional. We're so deluded to where we're too scared to leave. We're so scared that we don't want to leave because we feel like we won't find anybody else. We're afraid of being lonely. And I think that's so crazy. So crazy. And I understand. I completely understand. It's hard. Because you just never know what's next. And, man. It's really scary. It's really scary. When I talk about the power of the tongue in this part, I said the power of your tongue can recruit monitoring spirits, the other side, and the miserable. Like, it's really crazy. You guys, I was at work. I've been working. Like, if I'm not posting, I work almost every single day. A couple days ago, I say like on Saturday, me and my coworkers, we were laughing, you know, giggling around at work, and we was talking about driving, and I was telling them how, you know, I'm getting better at driving. Yes, I'm 18. I have my permit, you guys. I have really bad driving anxiety, so like, I don't know, like, I know I'm getting better at driving, like, I'm more confident. It's like I trust myself when I drive. I just have anxiety when I'm driving around other people because you just never know. You could be around drunk drivers. You just never know what's going to happen when you're driving. And that's why you really got to be grateful when you leave the house and you come back safe. I feel like that's one of the most underrated blessings. So we're over here, we're talking about cars. We're talking about driving. And one of my coworkers was bringing up, like, yeah, no, like, I'm surprised, like, you didn't, like, crash with your crazy self, like, and then, like, one of my other coworkers, like, she be speeding, man, on them highways. Let's say the speed limit's, like, 60, but she's going, like, she's going in the hundreds, like, she is crazy. So, we're talking, and then, you know, we're talking about crashes, and I was saying something funny, and I was like, man, if I ever, like, you know, crashed, if I ever got into a car accident, knock on wood, I would be, you know, playing, like, you know how people be doing, being dramatic, playing, I don't want to say it, but yeah, just playing and acting, you know, trying to get that check, trying to get that hospital check, okay? Like, just being super over dramatic, making a whole scene, even though I'm not actually in pain or something, just so I could get that check, like that, like how they used to give out them stimulus checks, yeah, but bigger. And my coworker was like, yeah, me too. And then my other coworker, we were about to start breaks, so she was like, she asked me if I wanted to go first, but I was like, nah, I don't need it, because I was getting off early, because I opened. And so the coworker that asked me, they was like, oh, well, I'm just finna go on break, you know, I'm finna go home real quick, I'll be right back, because I guess she wanted to go see her dogs and husband or something like that, you know, perfectly cool. So I'm with my other coworker, we chilling, and y'all, we over here, we're talking, we're just, you know, we're chatting, we chilling. It's not that busy right now at where we work at Charlie's. And, ooh, excuse me. And our other coworker comes in on their day off, and they was like, what's the name? Just got into a car accident. And me and my coworkers were looking at each other like, what the, like, we was so shocked. So instantly we were like, oh my God, is she okay? Like, like, oh my goodness, like, is she straight? Like what's up now? Like, oh my, like, this is crazy. And yeah, she gets into a car accident. She's safe. They're safe. But her car, like, is tore up. Like, psh. So anyways, end of the story. Be careful of what you're talking about, because that is really crazy. The power of the tongue is so crazy, very crazy. Yeah, you guys, people are capable of anything. Never ever rely on anybody for your happiness, or rely on anybody's trust, or I don't care, like, you just never know. Just to be safe. I'm not saying that there's loyal, genuine people out there, like, you know, of course, me and you, but you really have to be careful of who you surround yourself with. Please. Because once, you know, you talking and you yapping, and sometimes, you know, I be talking to where I don't even realize I'm talking too much. And they're just catching on. It's like they're taking notes. They're taking notes of what's going on. And you know, sometimes when you're so comfortable around somebody, you're talking so freely to where you don't even realize what's coming out your mouth, because you're so comfortable with them, like they gained your trust. And then, you know, you never know, because one day they could just, you know, be your friend, and then flip the page, be your enemy. And you really just got to be prepared for that, because that ain't no joke. That hurt and betrayal ain't no joke. And I see why people become nonchalant, but at the end of the day, like, that's not gonna really solve your mental. Like, it might protect you, but I know your feelings are gonna eat you up inside, and it really is lonely. So yeah, that's why when I see a nonchalant person, because I have so many nonchalant friends, and you know, they always, you know, tell me, you know, I've gotten hurt before once, and then they have a grudge up to everybody else in the world, and that's really blocking their blessings, and it's really blocking them into growing. So then they have this same kitty stuck up mindset to where, oh, you're in my life to hurt me, you know, oh this, oh that, and I'm just like, okay, like, you know. And especially, like, when I first met them, before we even became friends. But now, like, you know, since, you know, we've gotten closer, of course, they really told me how much of a genuine soul I am. And they're happy that they met me. And they opened up, but, you know, to that extent to where I don't, you know, fully know them. But yeah, also to my nonchalant people, it's okay to be human. It is okay to be human. It's okay to be human, really. Because I know how I still do, I build stuff up. It's one of my toxic traits. But all that building up, you know, and it's really hard, because if you build up and you drain yourself out, build up and you just crash out on the wrong person, man, it's gonna suck, and you're gonna feel even more guilty and more bad. And think about it, like, imagine being nonchalant and having this grudge to people who are really here and sent by God to try and help you. Like, imagine that. Imagine being spiteful, and I'm not saying nonchalant people are rude about it, but, like, people, there are good people. They really are. They're just more careful with it, which I completely understand. But really, just don't be afraid to be human. I feel like them grandmas when they be on the porch waving bye to their grandkids and just watching nature. And man, you guys, I'm only 18, but I feel like I have like an old soul. Like, I feel like I already lived like 8+ lives in my lifetime, in my past life. Like, and I always felt like this ever since a little girl. Always been mature. But yeah, you guys, thank you guys so much for listening to me blah 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 my butt off. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I love you guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.